going to go down here and I'm going to upload a photo, and unfortunately I don't have, I'm using this computer so I don't know what photos we've got here. So, oh pardon me. So what I did here, I'm doing it so fast I'm not paying attention to people. I clicked on upload photo. So on the client list, when you're managing a client, you can upload a photo, a Word document, pretty much anything that comes up on this list here. So you can upload bitmaps, JPEGs, GIFs, PNGs, docs, PDFs, spreadsheets, text, and voice memos. You can attach anything you want to the job using this upload photo feature. So the idea normally would be is normally you would staple the photo to the request for approval from the state. Instead of stapling it, we're going to go here and we're going to say we're going to hopefully find the JPEG on this machine. And let's see if we have anything here. See if I can find a picture that. Picture. Let's look at this JPEG because that's what we want. This should be just a JPEG. So I just pick that and it fills in the thing here, and I'm just going down here to make sure that it's a JPEG, which it is. So now when I hit save, it's going to actually load that up. So there's my picture now, right attached to my document. So now when I log out here, log back in as the state, and again go back to the fact that I want to approve the job. Now when I go to the job, I can go down here and I'll see the photo. So now instead of having to staple a photo to a report and mailing it down to the state, getting them to look at it and approve it, you just take the pictures, the digital cam, load it up on your computer. The one thing is when you do take the pictures, don't get carried away with your resolution. It doesn't need to be a real high-res picture, and if you'll notice, we do limit you to a 256 KB upload size. So that's actually fairly large. I mean, a picture like this on 1024 768 will run you about 100 KB. But if some of you are digital photography fanatics and have high-res 10 megapixel cameras and you take it a high-res picture, you're going to end up with a 5 or 6 meg picture and it's not going to upload. So we do keep this, because these are kept in the database, so we really don't want them too big. So keep your resolutions down. It just needs to be good enough so that, again, it's primarily for, the state to look at for approval. So this is a fairly small file, and it's got pretty good resolution. So you shouldn't have to worry about it. So
how does the state know that we need it? Do they check it every day, or do you send them an email that says, hey?
they just watch it. There's somebody there that's supposed to watch it every day. And Tony, what did you say? You gave us turnaround time to expect with the approval for doors and windows.
I think Deb said 24 hours.
Yeah. So in other words, they're looking at it every day, every business day. And if you don't hear back, if you don't get it approved in a couple of days, then you probably should shoot them an email and just make sure. But again, the idea is somebody there is looking at this measure approval screen every day. I mean a state approval screen, excuse me, measure approval. And, so generally there shouldn't be very many things that need to be checked here. And all they have to do is check it and save it. And as soon as that approval check is on, if I go back again to my user ID, and go off to that particular job. I'm going to now see that on my priority audit list, I have the ability to issue a work order now. And that's how I indicate that this job is now unlocked. So as long as you can't see the work order here, first you want to make sure that the job's actually ready to have a work order issued, which means it has to have some measures installed, or excuse me, have some measures defined for it. And it has to be at audited state. So the job needs measures, and if you go to audit info, the job needs to be at the audited state.
Besides the fact that it unlocks and made a work order, is there any indication that the state approved that?
No.
Is there nothing that we print out and file as long as there's a work order with it?
As long as there's a work order, you're approved. So you won't be able to issue a work order unless the state approves it. And therefore, by definition, if you can issue a work order, you're approved to issue the work order.
On my site assessment, on the job status, it's got a process and I can't change it. Is there a reason?
Because you probably actually already saved the work order. Did you issue the work order? Yeah, so now it's in process. So once the work order is out there, you're going to manage it through the work order system, and that's what we're going to go through next. But once you've issued a work order, you really don't want to be editing anything on the job list, simply because now the work order might be out in the field, and so you have an audit an item here that's now been delivered to somebody to actually do. There's somebody out there that's going to replace the oil tank, for example. You can't change that now that you've issued the work order to somebody, to a vendor, to replace the oil tank without pulling that work order back. And that's the process we're going to talk about next, is kind of the idea of managing work orders. All right? So it's a little bit afternoon. I said we were going to wait until 12:30, but it might be better to break now for lunch. But what's the general feeling? Are we ready for a lunch break? Why don't we try to get back here a little bit after 1, and we'll pick up and then starting to go through the work order process. Here, we're really kind of done with the client menu for a while, and we're going to go back and start using the main menu again to actually process the job. So, and by process the job, we're really talking about going through the